you love.
Feel good vibes and great music.
Oh, yeah.
This is Radio 44. Your music, your life.
Even the other stations are
It's the
listening.
Morning Mojo with Jeet.
On Radio 44.
So gone are the days where we had time on our hands. We had the time to take care of ourselves, take care of our loved ones. Right now, we're in the rat race. So finding time for anything whatsoever is an impossible task. Now, what happens when you don't have time for anything? Well, you start looking at your health as a secondary objective, when in reality that should be your priority. Well, we're here to make things a little easier. We have Sujata Din all the way from the UK, a certified health coach and professional cancer coach. And we're going to have a chat about how you can incorporate a healthy lifestyle, whether it's dieting, whether it's ensuring that your mind state is perfect, all that in a fun way without making it too tedious. So don't go anywhere. And we've already got a couple of questions. If you've got any additional questions, send them in 0758 123 444. Let's all be a little healthy. Right now, we do have someone very special, someone very popular as well in the studio with us. We do have Sujata Din. She is definitely someone absolutely special when it comes to being, a health coach and a professional cancer coach. First of all, welcome, and thank you so much for finding time to, come over here and have a chat with us, Sujata.
Thank you so much, Eve. Very happy to be here.
Indeed. So I think let's just go straight into it. You have, 11 years of experience in this field. So how do you approach wellness from a holistic perspective and, especially incorporating diet, lifestyle and mental outlook into the whole process?
So for me, this is something that is not just one area of our lives, because if we look at often where we get to when we've hit a low period in our own health, what will happen is it's come through because of many things. It might be, we haven't been sleeping well, or we haven't been walking, or we're very stressed. We're not drinking enough water. So for me, it's an approach of looking holistically at everything that the individual is going through. So it might mean, asking them questions about what time they're waking up. Are they waking up feeling refreshed? What are they doing first thing in the morning? Upon waking up, are they looking at their phone straight away? Because if you look at your phone, you're getting stressed quite quickly, reading the messages, thinking about your to-do list as well, looking at the foods they're eating, what they're drinking as well. Is it just too much tea or coffee? Because they might be having enough fluids, but are you just drinking too much tea or coffee, not drinking enough water? What are you having at meal times? Because yes, we all eat, but are we eating the right types of foods as well? Thinking about how we're managing stress, how much sleep we're getting. So it is a holistic approach where I would have a health form, and I'll just ask them to complete it, but also to assess where they are in each of these areas, because often people may not be thinking that one area of their life is impacting another. And I'll give an example. If we don't sleep well, sleep often gets overlooked. So if you're not sleeping well, we get up feeling very tired. And when we're tired, we end up having a lot of sugary foods as well. So we're just craving a lot of sugar. And we think, well, I need sugar to keep me going. When we're tired, we don't go for that walk. We may not exercise. So one thing has a knock-on effect on many other things through the day.
Right.
So it has to be a holistic approach where I look at everything that the person's going through and then help them work at improving all these areas.
Right, so it's tackling the problem at the source itself.
Absolutely.
Well done. Okay, so how do you so let's say you've got clients from all over the world.
Yeah.
So how do you help them overcome challenges related to digestive issues and fatigue and hormonal imbalances? How do you help them with that?
So the first thing I'll do is go to the foundation of good health, because there is so much out there in the media, in magazines, on the internet, listening to what our friends, our family are doing. And what happens is people often want to just cherry pick and take things from one diet or a different diet, but they're not really looking at the core foundation. So when I'm guiding people, whether it's for digestive issues or they've got a health condition like diabetes or blood pressure, is actually going to be doing a review of what they're eating. And I will look at what they're having for their 3 meals, their snacks. I'll be looking at how much water they're drinking, if they're active. And sometimes it might be they can't be active because they've got, pains in their knees, or they've got a back issue. And once I assess where they are, so it's a diagnosis firstly, reviewing diagnosis where they are. And then it would be giving them recommendations based on what they need for where they are with their situations.
Lifestyle and
And then giving them recommendations that are always, they have to be practical, they have to be doable, and they've also got to be fun, because if we don't enjoy doing it, we might just do it for a few weeks and then give up, saying it was too difficult or too boring, or it's just not possible for me to do it. So it'll always be actually asking them, are you able to do this? If you're not able to do this, can we just bring it down a little and bring it to a place which is challenging for them, and it's out of their comfort zone, but it's not impossible for them.
Right.
So just by making a few changes, I've helped people to improve their blood pressure, their cholesterol, really improve their sugar levels as well. People who've got arthritis find that the pain begins to reduce.
Yes.
They're not needing that much medication as well. But it's coming to that core foundation of what are you eating, what's your lifestyle like, and working a lot on the mindset as well, on what's possible.
We've actually got an inquiry over here from Mr. Dilip Shah, who says he's 70 years old. He's getting borderline sugars for many years. He's a regular morning walker, doing an average of 1 hour daily. He says that he's just started yoga 2 times a week. But now he wants to know what's the best way to avoid taking pills for sugar control. So he says that he's possibly borderline because of other medications, and he says he's also a vegetarian. So is there any way he can, control his sugars without taking pills?
Hello, Mr. Dilip. Thank you very much for your question. And yes, you can actually help to improve your blood sugar levels. First thing I'd like to suggest is look at what you're eating. Are there any sugary foods that are coming into your diet? And if they are, first, try and reduce the refined sugars and replace the refined sugars with natural sugar. So if you're having white sugar, could you be having brown sugar, coconut sugar, or jaggery? But remember, even if it's a natural sugar, because often people say it's jaggery, it's good is really good for me, but it's still a sugar. You shouldn't be having too much of it if it's still a sugar. So, look at how much of the sugars that you're having and replace the refined with the natural, because they do have more nutrition in them, but have less of these. And then think about, the types of other sugary foods that might be coming into your diet. You don't need to stop having fruits, but don't have fruits on their own. Always combine your fruits, because fruits are natural sugars, full of good nutrition. We should be having them because they're a source of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and they take care of our sugar cravings naturally. But if you have sugar, the fruit through on its own, the sugar spike comes up because it's just, going to raise it if it's not combined with a healthy fat or protein. So if you're having fruit, could you have a piece of fruit with 5 or 6 almonds or cashew nuts, or could you have your berries with some yogurt, maybe half a cup of yogurt that you're having it with. So this way you have the fruit, but it's not spiking up your sugar levels. Another reason often is the refined carbohydrates that are coming in. Are you having just too much rice, too much roti? Even with the rice and roti you're having, could you make some swaps? If you are having the refined grains, the white rice or the white bread, could you replace it with brown bread, brown rice? It's got a lot more fiber in it. It just means that the sugar's not spiking after eating these foods. And with all foods that you have, every meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, your snack time, make sure that it has a combination of fiber, protein, and fat in it, because that will help to stabilize your blood sugar levels. And take time bringing in these changes. Often people will just give it a few days or a week and think it's not working, but give it a few weeks and monitor your blood sugar levels while you're doing it. Of course, always seek your doctor's advice as well. If you've got to be on medication, you've got to be on medication. But take charge of your health. Think about what you can do right now to improve it. And lastly, you said you're walking for an hour in the morning. That is brilliant. Continue with that. But just bring in a short walk after lunch, after dinner. It doesn't need to be long. It could just be a 10-minute walk you do inside the house after lunch and after dinner, and that will also help you.
Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Dilip, I hope that helped you. Going back into the music, but remember, if you have any queries, send them in 0758 123 444.
The hits you love.
Feel good vibes and great music.
Oh, yeah.
This is Radio 44. Your music, your life.
Even the other stations are listening.
First of all, we've got a message over here from Dilip Shah, who says, Thank the certified health coach. Thanks, Sujata. Explained very well. Hope you have recorded versions of the talks. Yes, we will be putting that up on our YouTube channel, Mr. Dilip. Thank you so much. Sujata, I think let's go straight back into it. So what inspired you to create these personalized one-to-one sessions, and engaging with people on online platforms? What made you actually go for such a program?
So for me, this was really a personal journey. I came into it because I went through periods of being at a low health myself. And I think we often ignore things. So for me, it started when I was young, usually had constipation or gas, which we always just think, well, that's just my digestion. But it carried on, and it became something that was worsening as I was growing older. I always had a runny nose. I thought it's just allergies, but
Right.
it became sinusitis. Again, things,
Yeah.
became worse, and I was told that I needed surgery for the sinusitis. And having done research on that, I thought, well, it's not guaranteed to take care of the sinusitis. And so it was digestive issues, the sinusitis, and a big one was also the hormonal issues that I'd had, since my teenage years, with different issues going on with hormones. And I realized, actually, I was seeing different doctors for different things, but I wasn't getting better. I was always tired, and we hit a low point. And if anybody's listening to this, maybe you've hit your low point and got over it, or you might be at your low point. So I hit my low point just realizing walking for more than 10 minutes was quite tiring, and that was the realization I now need to actually do something about it, which is when I began studying and became a health coach.
Okay. So how do you ensure that, so your programs are accessible to individuals? And we all know that everyone has a different diet, everyone has a different lifestyle. So how do you ensure that your programs are accessible to people with very different preferences, diverse, dietary needs? So how do you deal with that?
So I make sure that it's possible to do regardless of whatever diet you have, whether you're having an Indian diet or a Western diet or, a Chinese diet or an African diet. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of a diet you have, because I teach lessons. This is not a diet plan. My programs are not a diet plan where I tell you, go eat these foods and follow this plan for the week and let me know how you get on. It's actually an educational program where you're learning about nutrition, you're learning about lifestyle changes to make. We're looking really at creating habits. This is what the program's all about, habits about what you're eating, while still learning about how much protein do you need, what are the whole grains you should be having, how do you deal with sugar cravings. So it's an educational program, and there's structure. So the way it will I make it work for everyone is there's structure, but there's flexibility within the structure. Simple example is, I don't say have porridge for breakfast or have eggs for breakfast, because maybe you're vegetarian and you don't eat eggs,
Right.
or maybe you don't feel like having porridge. So the structure is there where you're learning what are the best types of foods to have for breakfast, because as I mentioned earlier, protein, fat, fiber we need. So it could be things like granola you're having, or you're having overnight oats or porridge. You could be having poha with yogurt. So if you want to make it a traditional Indian breakfast, you could be doing that. You could have eggs, you could have tofu, you could do a smoothie. So it works for everyone because they learn the concept, the method, the step-by-step process.
Right.
But they can choose what they want to eat, and that works for them, plus also their families, because nobody should be cooking separate meals.
Excellent. No, yeah, come to think about it, you're right. It's not like you're giving them a list of recipes for the week. You're actually teaching them, and whatever they're learning, they can go ahead and make their own food based on that.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, we will be back shortly, right after this. Right now with Sujata Din, a certified health coach and an absolute professional when it comes to also coaching with cancer. That is a biggie right there. Now back into our question. So can you share some of the insights on how your coaching has actually helped clients when it comes to digestion, increasing energy levels, maintaining a very good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle in such a busy world that we live in?
So what I'm doing is equipping them, giving them the tools that they need, but most importantly, actually helping them overcome the mental obstacles that they might have. Big one is time. We often think, I don't have enough time, or I can't do it because I've got young children I'm looking after, grandchildren I'm looking after, or I'm busy working. So what I will do is give them what they need and that they can actually get started with. So I've had clients who come to me with hypothyroidism. I'll give an example of somebody who came to me with hypothyroidism, being diagnosed also now with cholesterol, and doctor advising, you've either got to lose some weight and improve your diet to improve your cholesterol levels, or you will be taking medication, and it's most likely for the rest of your life as well. So when she called, she was quite distressed about it, because she's already got one health condition and she didn't want to have others going on as well. And for her, she just thought, how am I going to do this? So it was talking to her, teaching her what she can begin to do. And actually, she was able to improve her cholesterol levels, where she didn't need to get on to statins. And she lost weight within a few months. But what this gave her was that positivity, that belief in, I can now do it, and I can take charge of my life. So I've worked with people who have got digestive issues, and sometimes with digestive issues, they're so severe, and if you've got IBS, or if you need to keep going to the toilet, it affects the daily quality of your life as well. You feel you can't step out of the house. So it's guiding them on what can you now do to improve your diet a little bit, so you are actually able to step out of the house, having the energy to actually go and do things. Because if we are tired, we won't cook well, we won't walk, we won't exercise, we don't want to do
productivity.
anything. Yeah.
Okay, got a question over here from Dhananjay Pandit. And he goes ahead and asks this. For a person like me who sits on the desk the whole day, how can I relieve my weight gain? I find no time to exercise due to my working hours, and I need to lose about 20 kilograms. So how can I achieve this? What is the best way to lose weight?
Hello, Mr. Pandit. Thank you for your question. What I would suggest is thinking about what you can do. I know you're really busy at work. You're probably working maybe 6 days a week. Think about the times that you can do things. So it doesn't need to be walking 10,000 steps, because that might be impossible for you. But could you, during the day, just walk for 30 minutes and walk 10 minutes in the morning before you get to work, 10 minutes at lunchtime. I'm sure you can make 10 minutes during the day, and then 10 minutes in the evening. So just start with walking for 30 minutes, but split it through the day. And once you've got to that 30 minutes, then increase it to maybe, 40 minutes or 45 minutes. Start with walking first. Don't think about exercise because you're really busy. Bring in your fitness through walking. Think about your meals as well. What are you eating right now? If you're tired, if you're busy, you're probably eating more processed foods. You're going for more of the convenient foods because that's easiest to have when we are busy. Can you begin taking some packed lunches from home? to work, that might be a good idea. Don't just be grabbing sandwiches or wraps or pizzas, because that does become, an unhealthy food. So just take something healthy. Even leftovers from dinner would be a good thing. And think about what you can do rather than what you can't do. And take some healthy snacks, because snacking causes weight gain.
Yes, Lord knows. I've been there for so long. All right, we will be back shortly right after this. But right now, we do have Sujata Din in the studio with us. You've transformed a lot of people's lives. And, I just want to know, so with your online program, if I'm signing up today, what can I expect from it? And before I actually start the classes with you, what needs to change in my mentality right before I start that class?
I'd love to have you come and join me too. I think I'll answer your second question first. So what needs to change, or what do you need to, where do you need to be? I think the most important thing when I'm working with my clients is they've got to want to change. It's got to be a priority. It's not got to be something it'll be nice to do or nice to try it out. You've got to be committed to this. It's got to be something, if I asked you how important is either losing weight or improving your digestion or supporting your hormones or, improving blood sugar levels, how important is this for you? It's got to be, this is important, this is something I've got to do. Because if you're committed, I can help you. But if you're not ready to do the work, I can tell you everything, but it's just going to be going way over, and you're going to think, well, it's not working. So you've got to be committed. Now, it's not difficult to do, because you can do this eating any foods. You can have your favorite snacks. If you wanted to have chevra or cookies or chocolate, you can still do this. But
oh, wow, I'm happy.
Can.
Yeah, that put a smile on my face.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's balanced, because if you just ate these types of foods, you're not going to see a change. So we've got to make a change for you to see a change. Only then is this going to work for you. But you don't need to give up anything. You do not need to give up grains. You don't need to give up fruits. We just need to make some swaps in some of the ingredients that you're using, and we will look at changing the portions of what is on your plate. So you will still have, your grains. You'll still have vegetables. You'll still have protein. You can still have snacks. And what I do is provide you with coaching, which is either done one-to-one, or I have group programs which are very good as well. And I'll be providing you with a system to follow, step by step, how to understand portion sizes, meal timings, what to look for when buying foods, how to read the labels as well. Because the issue has become there are so many different foods on the supermarket shelves that we don't know what to do. So I teach you what to do. I provide you with recipes. I've got hundreds and hundreds of recipes. So I'll provide you with recipes, and you can use the recipes. You can use the suggested meal planner. You can use the shopping list. I give you guidance on how to get active. Just simple things like, firstly, walking, but then even exercise apps, YouTubes that you can begin using. I bring in mindfulness, meditation. I'm a meditation teacher, and I think that's something we need to be bringing in, is mindfulness, awareness, because it's only when we are aware and we acknowledge where we are, can we actually make a change? Because if we're not ready to acknowledge where we are, we're just going to continue with what we've always done. And then I'll help you in, setting your intentions. So first will be awareness, acknowledging, setting your intentions, and then learning what to do, and then creating the habit. So how I help you is to make it a habit, something you're doing automatically. Just like you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth, because that's something you just learned to do, and now you're doing it without thinking. Once you've been through the program, you just begin to do it automatically.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I right when I'm saying this is not for those people, or this is not focused on those people who go to Instagram, see a nice beach body, and then say, I want this beach body? This is something that you're trying to instill in people for the rest of their lives.
Yes, and you can have a beach body and instill a good habit as well. But if you're looking just for a crash 1 week diet, I'm the wrong person. But if you're looking to, yes, lose the weight and keep the weight off even after summer,
excellent,
then come to me. But if you're coming and saying, I just want to lose, 10 kilos very quickly, I can help you do that. But what I'd rather you do is I'll help you lose that weight, but I want you to maintain the habits, not just to look good, but think about your health, think about aging healthily, because that's what's going to matter in 10 years or 20 years' time.
I think that's perfectly said. And if you could give your website, so our listeners can actually go ahead and sign up with you as well.
So I do have a few free programs on my website as well. You can sign up for any of those. You can drop me a message. My website is sujatadin.com. If I can share my Instagram.
Please.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Sujata_Din, and you can find me there. Just drop me a message on Instagram, on Facebook. It's Wellness with Sujata. Get in touch. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll be sharing this interview as well, the YouTube link as well, in case you want to rewatch it, understand more, and we'll also share the website of Sujata as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Heath, for having me.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. I realize I'm into all this, but there's still so many things that I've learned today. So thank you so much, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
The hits you love.
Feel good vibes and great music. This is Radio 44. Your music, your life.
Even the other stations are listening.